Hey guys, welcome back. So I have that review video for you on the skincare products that I had mentioned in my beauty haul a few weeks back. So I've been trying them for a while now, about a month to a month and a half, because I've started trying them before I posted that haul, and then I've been using them since that haul. So it's been a while now, and I've been kind of taking down notes and really trying to observe what these products are doing. Skincare is hard for me because it's difficult for me to tell if it's really working. I can tell, you know, what it feels like on my skin. I can tell, is it breaking me out or not? I can tell kind of what is it doing to my skin throughout that day that I'm wearing it. But as far as like long-term benefits, is this actually doing what it's supposed to do? It's kind of hard for me to tell. But I have tried to take down notes of at least what I've observed so far, so hopefully this will be helpful for you. Skincare is hard, you know, because it's a very personal thing. Everybody's skin is different. So just so you know kind of my skin type, I have like oily combo skin, and it's pretty sensitive. Like I don't get a rash or anything like that usually. That's kind of rare, but I break out pretty easily. So I'm sensitive in that regard. So yeah, you can just kind of know that that's my skin situation that I'm trying these products with. The products I'm going to be mentioning are the kind of the Pore Vanisher eraser type products. Those are like a big thing in the drugstore right now, so I have quite a few of them to share with you. The first one is the Maybelline Baby Skin, and then I have the Garnier 5-Second Blur Skin Renew Instant Smoother, and then I have the L'Oreal Revitalift Moisture Blur Moisturizer, and then also the L'Oreal Youth Code Texture Perfector Pore Vanisher. So that's kind of the pore related items. And then I also have the other two Youth Code items. This is the L'Oreal Youth Code Texture Perfector Serum Concentrate. And then this is the Youth Code Texture Perfector Day Night Cream. So I can tell you about those. So anyway, like I said, I've taken down notes. So I'm just gonna kind of share with you my experience with these products so far and my thoughts and opinions and reviews. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. So let's jump in. Okay, first we're going to start with the L'Oreal Youth Code Texture Perfector line. So first is the Serum Concentrate, and then there is the Day Night Cream. First off, I love the packaging. I think this is so adorable and cute and just girly. Love the packaging. Okay, so starting with the serum, it comes in this bottle like this, and it does have a pump top, so that's nice. So you just pump out the product like this. It has sort of an iridescence to it. It's white with a little bit of an iridescence. It's really the only way to describe it. It's not necessarily pinky, but has some kind of a light reflecting look to it. It's very light. It really absorbs into the skin really quickly and nicely. I'll do some close-ups so you can see this, but it absorbs very quickly. It does have a fragrance, sort of like, I smell a little bit of alcohol, but then also some kind of perfume. So I don't really prefer that in skincare. I wish it didn't have any fragrance. And that is listed on the ingredients. It says parfum fragrance. Yes, so there is parfum in this, which I wish it didn't have that, but maybe it stunk and they felt like they needed that. So just kind of know that it does have fragrance to it. It absorbs very quickly into the skin. It's very comfortable to wear. Nothing greasy or gross or anything like that. And then the Day Night Cream is sort of a pinky looking cream, definitely thicker. It is more of a lotiony type texture. So it's definitely not a serum, it is a lotion. But this one also absorbs very quickly and doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy or gross or anything like that. So it has that same kind of fast absorbing sort of texture to it. So that's nice. Also has that same kind of fragrance. I smell less alcohol in this one and more just fragrance. So they both kind of have that fragrance going. It's the same kind of fragrance. So they both are very fast absorbing. I wore these at night. I didn't wear these during the day just because I really don't use a lot of stuff on my skin in the mornings just because it'll make me greasy and gross. So I didn't do that. But what I did notice, they do make your skin look smooth. And I liked the way they looked when I initially put them on my skin. So the way I was using these is I used my Michael Todd True Organics on this side of my skin, and then I used my the Youth Code Texture Perfector items on this side of my skin, my face. Just to kind of compare, number one, was it going to break me out? I guess I would like to concentrate my breakouts on one side of my skin. I don't know. I guess so I can really tell what is it coming from, what is causing this breakout. So I did that to kind of be able to compare. And what I found is I really didn't notice any huge differences in my skin on this side. My skin really didn't look any better. If anything, I preferred this side of my face, just with my Michael Todd items. I felt like I had a few pimples on this side, nothing like major breakouts, but my skin was honestly a little bit bumpier on this side of my skin than this side. So I don't know that these products necessarily work so great with my skin. I've seen a lot of reviews on these, and for the most part, they're very, very positive. So I wouldn't say totally discount these. I don't like necessarily dislike them, but I don't think they're just amazing. And they're $25 each, which is, you know, kind of pricey, because the Michael Todd line that I've been using, which is the oily skin, oily sensitive skin type line, it was $60 for 5 items. And I'm not associated with them. I bought that whole line myself, but it was $60 for 5 items. So that's a better price, and it seemed to work better with my skin. So these are items that I probably will not keep using as part of my skincare regimen, only because they have, you know, less natural ingredients, which I don't go fully all natural with the things that I use on my skin, but if I can use that and it works better on my skin, I prefer to do that. So, you know, this doesn't have quite as natural ingredients, has the fragrance in it, and it just doesn't seem to work as well on my skin as the Michael Todd does. So these are not a total fail, but they're not like incredible, amazing, at least in my experience. Okay, now we're gonna move into the kind of pore vanisher, pore eraser type products. There's a lot of these in the drugstore right now, and this seems to kind of like be the thing. So I have 4 different products sort of in that family to share with you, so that's good. The first one I want to talk about is the Youth Code Texture Perfector Pore Vanisher. And this is kind of in the same family as the other Texture Perfector products I just mentioned. And this is supposed to be kind of the more pore related item. So it's supposed to help the appearance of your pores. So this is what it says. This lightweight oil-free cream absorbs quickly with no residue or greasy feel, leaving skin feeling freshly moisturized with a silky smooth matte finish. It's supposed to be a pore vanisher cream. Instantly pores appear virtually vanished. In 1 month, shrink the actual pore size. So not only is it supposed to vanish the appearance of your pores that day, but it's supposed to actually shrink them over time. It does say it's non-acnegenic, non-comedogenic, dermatologist tested, shine-free, oil-free, great for sensitive skin, fast absorbing, can be used under makeup. So I use this at night, I used it during the day. I didn't use it consistently every single day for a month, so I can't say 100% does this shrink your pores over the course of a month. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I can kind of tell you my experience with what I kind of noticed with it. So it's a squeezy tube like this, and when you squeeze it out, it kind of has a tannish sort of a tint to it, but when you rub it in, it's clear, so it doesn't like keep that tint. It is kind of scented like the other ones. I smell more alcohol with this one, even more than in the serum, and definitely more than in the cream. And it also has that kind of perfumey scent as well that the other ones do. It does rub in very nicely. It has kind of a silicone-y type texture to it, so it definitely feels more like a primer, but it is mattifying. I did notice that about it, that it did seem to mattify my skin. It did seem to blur my pores. So I did notice that, that it did seem to do that and kind of keep up its claim that it did seem to vanish the appearance of pores. Seemed to keep me pretty matte during the day, so that was good. Oh, something to note. I think this possibly breaks me out. I'm not 100% sure, but I was only using it on this side of my skin, and especially right in this area, because that's where most of my pores show up. So I noticed I was getting some breakout in this area. Not horrible, but just some. So I think my skin is just not a fan of the Texture Perfector line. It could be the perfume in it, I'm really not sure, but so I wouldn't say this is terrible. I've heard great reviews from other people on this. It just might not be for my skin. So I would say this is a maybe, try it out, because it does do what it says, that it erases your pores. It does seem to mattify nicely. I don't really necessarily know that it diminished the size of my pores over time, but like I said, I wasn't using it consistently every single day for a month. And also once I noticed it was possibly breaking me out, I was a little scared to use it any longer. So this was not my favorite, but I wouldn't say it was a total fail. Okay, next is the Garnier 5 Second Blur Skin Renew Instant Smoother. This is another one of those kind of pore vanishing, pore blurring type products. But the difference in this one is it's supposed to be doing it through a light reflecting technology. So this is what the box says. It says visible blurring effect. Fills lines and wrinkles, hides pores, smooths flaws, mattifies shine, light reflecting technology. So it kind of talks about different things on the box, but it says ultra cushiony texture, that it is concentrated with light reflecting particles to visibly correct the signs of aging. So it's supposed to help with wrinkles, fine lines, skin flaws, and pores, and really help diminish those. So the light reflecting technology is what is supposed to make this one different. So when you open it, it's got that same kind of, you know, squeeze tube type top, but a skinnier one. When I put it on my skin, it has that same kind of iridescence that the Youth Code Texture Perfector does, but this one is thicker. And it rubs in definitely like a silicone-y primer, so that's what I feel in here. I don't notice a scent with this one. At first I thought it was maybe smelling alcohol, but once I kept sniffing it, I really don't smell it. So I don't think it has any scent to it whatsoever. When I look at the ingredients, I don't see any alcohol, I don't see any fragrance, and it has less ingredients listed on the box. So that's usually a good thing. The less ingredients usually just kind of less chemicals, less things that could possibly bother your skin. With this one, it definitely has, I definitely can notice that light reflecting technology. It had more of a dewy look on my skin when I first applied it, and it seemed to keep me more dewy throughout the day, but not greasy. It's kind of interesting because I'm always kind of on the lookout for, you know, that healthy sort of dewy look. Usually when things say dewy, it's too dewy for me, but I wouldn't say this one was. You know, I guess because it says it has that, it mattifies shine, but then it also has the light reflecting technology. I think it's that technology that kind of gives that dewy sort of an appearance, but without the greasiness. So I really liked the way this looked on my skin. It did seem to smooth out pores, and it really seemed to just kind of help the appearance of my skin. So I really liked the way this one looked on my skin. What I didn't like is I think it broke me out. I'm not 100% sure, but the days I used it, I broke out the next day. The spots I used it, I broke out in those areas. So such a bummer, because I think this one would really be one of my favorites. It was $16.99. I didn't mention the price of this one. I don't know, but I'll list all the prices down below. I'll look those up for you. But I do know this one was $16.99. So it's a little bit more than some other ones, but less than the Youth Code line. So I would say if you don't have ridiculously sensitive skin, try this one out, especially if you're looking for kind of that light reflecting sort of healthy glow to your skin. I think you may really like this one. I just really wish it didn't break out my skin. I mean, I'm like a test case, super ridiculously sensitive. So if that's not you, if you're not ridiculously sensitive, this may work for you, because I really did like the way it looked on my skin. Okay, next is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. And this one is not supposed to be a pore vanisher, a pore filler, anything like that, just a pore eraser. I have the box here. This is what it says. Instantly blurs the look of pores without clogging them. Transparent gel formula, smooths on clear, smooths and refines skin's appearance, non-comedogenic and fragrance-free. Use alone or under makeup. So you're supposed to be able to use it both ways. I was wearing it under makeup. I tried it multiple days. I tried it in different spots on my skin. That's just kind of how I try out skincare, to tell if it's breaking me out and what I'm noticing in the different quadrants of my face. That's just kind of how I do it. So I tried this several days. When you open it, I love the packaging. I think it's such cute packaging. That teal is adorable. It's a little squeezy tube again, and it's a clear gel formula. They're 100% right on that. I don't notice a scent with this one at all. If anything, it has that sort of silicone-y type scent, just kind of that primer kind of scent. I don't know if you know, if you've used primers, you probably know what I'm talking about, but nothing strong smelling. This was $6.99, by the way, so this is definitely the most cost-effective of anything that I've listed so far. It smooths in very nicely to your skin, but it has more of a tacky feeling. So this one doesn't absorb as quickly. It definitely stays tackier feeling on the skin. So I would say it is the least comfortable of the different products that I'm mentioning. So, but once I noticed once I put on my foundation, it really wasn't a problem. It seemed to work nicely with my foundation and really it didn't feel gross on my skin or anything like that. Just at first, it feels a little bit heavier. It does seem to make me look a little bit more dewy than the Pore Vanisher, but less dewy than the Garnier. So it does have a slightly more dewy look to it. It did seem to smooth out the appearance of my pores. It did seem to really just make my skin look nice, so I was surprised about that. It did seem to keep my makeup on better, but not as well as my Miracle Blur. I'll just tell you right now, my Miracle Blur in the red container, oil-free, it's my favorite. That one seems to keep on my makeup the best of any of them, but this one did a pretty good job, and it's way cheaper at $6.99. The number one thing that surprised me about this one, it did not break me out. And I was thinking this would be the culprit. When I got all these products to try, I was most scared of this one because some Maybelline foundations have really broken me out pretty badly, so I was most afraid of this one. But it didn't bother my skin, so I was really surprised. So this is actually one of my favorites. So I would say if you're looking for a pore eraser, try this out. $6.99, it's, you know, not a big investment there, and it seemed to help my pores look better, my makeup stay on better, and I really like this one. So I was surprised about this. It's pretty good. Okay, and then finally I have the L'Oreal Revitalift Moisture Blur Instant Skin Smoother Moisturizer. So I really wanted to try this one because you guys know I love the Miracle Blur, so I was excited to try this. I heard Natalie from Flowerbomb31 mention this in a review video, and I was like, I definitely want to try that because she made it sound so great. This is what the box says. It says, why is Revitalift Moisture Blur Instant Skin Smoother Moisturizer right for me? Because we want an anti-aging moisturizer that will instantly diminish the signs of aging while it works to correct fine lines, wrinkles, and firmness over time. So it's supposed to have that Opti-Blur technology to really help with your fine lines and wrinkles. It's supposed to help your skin's like surface and diminish fine lines, wrinkles, all that. It's supposed to have the Pro-Retinol A anti-aging ingredient, which is supposed to visibly reduce wrinkles and help improve skin's firmness and elasticity over time. So it's really supposed to have some great properties for your skin. So I was excited to try this one, but I was nervous to try it because it doesn't say anywhere on there non-comedogenic, it doesn't say anywhere on there oil-free, and typically that's a recipe for disaster for my skin. So I was a little bit nervous to try this, but let me show you. So it has the same little opening like the Miracle Blur. It is a white color. It definitely is very perfumey. It has a strong fragrance to it like a perfume. So I wish it didn't have that. But it smooths into your skin so nicely. It feels like a primer. It is so nice. It's not thick. It's not gross. I love the feeling of this. And I love this product. This one was $24.99. It almost is mattifying like a primer on my skin. I was really surprised. It seemed to keep me more matte. It seemed to really make my skin look nice and really diminish those pores and, you know, fine line situations. So I really liked the way it made my skin look, and I really liked how mattifying it was. So I'm a big fan of this, and it didn't break me out. So I was really surprised about this. Like I said, I was nervous, but it didn't bother my skin. So I think my skin is just a fan of the blur things from L'Oreal. The Miracle Blur, the Moisture Blur, my skin just seems to really like that. It doesn't seem to bother me. And even though this has that strong smell to it, it doesn't seem to bother my skin. So I really like this one, and I'm very surprised that I do. So this is one of my favorites of the bunch that I talked about. Okay guys, so that was my review on all of the skincare items I've been trying out for you guys. I hope this video was helpful for you and kind of gave you some information about these products, at least kind of my experience with them. I hope it wasn't ridiculously long. I have no idea how long it is, but it could possibly be quite lengthy. But I wanted to be thorough and really tell you guys all the things I've been noticing with these products. So I hope it was helpful. Ask any questions down below. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!